As we told you in class, we've decided to give you a second chance to give a hand in about regarding your vertical gardens for the second partial. We saw you had a couple of issues with it, so we wanted to clarify them and make sure that you know everything about it and have a successful second hand in. So here are the main pointers. First of all, we need you to always put whatever your homeworks, guys. Please put your complete name and student ID so we can easily identify you if needed. Okay, so you'll find that top right corner. Then the title of your project. It doesn't have to be a big title, just a title. Okay, and then you're going to divide it up into weeks. Week 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that has to be very clear up here. Then within each week, you have to have a section that says visual evidence. Okay, and in that visual evidence, you have one of two options. Okay, so option A, which is this table on top. Okay, what you do is put the title as we have here: strawberry, palo de Brasil, lettuce, plant, whatever plants you decided. Okay, so remember these three are mandatory: strawberry, palo de Brasil, and lettuce. Okay, and you put an image of how your strawberry was on week 1, how the palo de Brasil was on week 1, and how your lettuce was on week 1, and so on and so forth. Okay, now we realize that most of you or some of you have don't have maybe a specific image like this about your other weeks. So don't worry. If you have an image like this, it will be okay for the time being. But we need you to do one of two things. Either specify it very clearly in the document like this. We did it with a circle. You can use an arrow, whatever you want. Just make sure that we can easily identify on this table and on this image where exactly the strawberry is. Okay? Now, another thing we need you to take into account is that when you do it in black and white, the contrast is very, very poor. So just take it into account when you do it, so that the circle doesn't disappear, or maybe the arrow is hard to see, whatever. Make sure you can clearly see it, even if it's in black and white. Last but not least, guys, you can take this option. In this case, what I did was take this little square, or this corner over here. Just imagine that we're a lettuce, okay? And I enhance the image here. Now, this can only be done if the quality of the images you took was with a high resolution. If it's not high resolution, it's going to pixel out and more or less be the same thing. You're not going to be able to identify anything. So you decide what's the best way, this way or this way. Okay? For those of you that did part of it at home, even if you did it at home, remember it was a requirement that you had the evidence taken at home. So it might not be an image of the vertical garden that's here in the deck, but it still has to show the week 1 or 2 in this log, or in this section. Okay. The next thing you have to have per week, okay, we're still on week 1, is your observations and analysis. So there in observations and analysis, you put whatever you did, whatever you found, whatever you want to comment. Okay, whatever happened if something happened. Okay, so this is also per week. Now, we realize, guys, that some of you had issues with some of your plants being lost, some of your plants drying out, whatever. So, if you have evidence that you were working on it as you were supposed to, and your watering log also shows that you were working on it correctly, giving it water, not letting it dry out, whatever. So if it was something out of your control, we'll be able to see it easily here on your evidence and on your observations. So you won't be penalized if something was out of your hands. But if you don't have the evidence, or evidence shows that you neglected your plants, then you will have an issue in your grade. Okay? Now the last part here, the watering log, I put in another color. Okay? The issue here is it's not mandatory to have it within this document. Some of you have it in another part or as another document. It's perfectly okay. You don't even have to follow this model. The only thing we want to make sure is that whatever the model you use or wherever you put it, it's a clear source of information. So Don't imagine giving it to one of your professors or giving it to one of your classmates that know about the project. Imagine if you give it to someone that doesn't know about your project. They have to clearly understand what the watering log is saying. Did you water once, twice, 3 times a day, or maybe once or twice a week? How, who did it? Whatever you decided to put on your watering log has to be clear information. Okay? So that's basically it, what you have to do for each week. So you just replicate this like so each week, okay? Now, as you can see, and this is obviously an exaggerated example, but let's look at the lettuce, for example. Here you can see week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. So that's what we want to see. We want to see the progress, okay? We know that there are certain plants that grow quicker than others. The lettuce should have grown a bit quicker. The palo de Brasil practically won't change a bit, okay? But at least we're gonna see that it was there and you worked on it, okay? So remember, each week has to have the evidence, okay? Finally, last but not least, guys, if you have any doubts whatsoever, if you don't understand this model, whatever, if you have any doubts regarding the second hand, and this is your last chance, so please, if you have any issues with it, consult either Veronica or myself, and we'll gladly help you. As always, our doors are open for whatever you need, and well, that's basically it, okay? I wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much.